Question. Who are you? Today we have heard lengthy portions of the Passion of Christ as recorded in the Gospel of Mark, revealing the events of the week leading up to the crucifixion of Jesus. We began in the parish hall as we enacted the scene of Jesus' triumphal entry into Jerusalem, a time when the people were so excited and humbled to see him that they went as far as to secure palm branches and remove their cloaks to create a pathway for this man whom they loved and about whom they had heard so many good things. Perhaps you are one of these joyful participants in the story of Christ's Passion. Perhaps you have followed him for a while, or maybe you've just heard the stories of his compassion and of how he heals the sick and speaks even to the outcasts of society, and you are excited for the opportunity to welcome him to town, for the opportunity to possibly even meet him. And so you gladly remove your jacket to help make a path. Or maybe you're on the outskirts of the crowd, not near enough to contribute to the growing promenade, but still close enough to greet this stranger with a smile. Maybe this is you, filled with enthusiasm to see this man about whom you've heard so many good things. And so you stand amongst the growing crowd, breathing in the intense anticipation, your own emotions stirred by the atmosphere of celebration. Is this who you are? Perhaps you are one of the 12 disciples, those closest to Jesus, and you have been invited to sit in the evening and to pray with him through the night. You are deeply devoted to this individual, and you are determined to stay alert during these hours of meditation. But the journey has been long, and the days busy, and you simply cannot stay awake. Yet Jesus returns to you time and again with a gentle nudge. Pray with me. And then the guards come, and you are so frightened that you run without even thinking about it. Those you love, with whom you've spent the last few years traveling, who have become your family, are suddenly all scattered, and you're alone. Perhaps this is who you are. Or maybe you are one among the angry mob who is hungry for another crucifixion, demanding that a known criminal be released and that this stranger take his place. You were at the temple doing business the day he came through and overturned your tables. For that alone, he should be punished. This man who claims to have the power to rebuild the temple in 3 days, such arrogance. It's time to bring him down a notch or two. Send him to the cross. Is this who you are? Maybe you're a simple and innocent man who has come to town to make the annual sacrifice required of you by your religious beliefs. You're making your way through the crowds when suddenly you're grabbed by one of the Roman guards and forced to carry the cross of a man whom you have never even heard, nor upon whom you've ever laid eyes. Now you're in the middle of a nightmare, the likes of which you have never imagined. Is this you? Maybe you're the Roman centurion who skeptically stood by while doing his job as Jesus was tortured, mocked, and killed. All in a day's work. You're thinking about how long it's going to be before your shift is over and you can go get something to eat, when you hear the man ask weakly why God has forsaken him. You look up in time to see the temple veil torn in two by some invisible force, and it immediately becomes quite clear to you that this man, about whom you've been so derisively skeptic, really is the Son of God. Is this who you are? Maybe you're none of these people, or a combination of all of them. Maybe you're one of the people who isn't even mentioned in the story, an anonymous observer, uninvolved in the events unfolding, or involved against your better wishes. Regardless of who you are, it was for you that Jesus endured the things which ultimately took him to the cross. No matter what you've done or haven't done, no matter how good or bad you think you are, no matter whether you believe you deserve to be loved or not, you are the reason God sent Jesus into this world. You are deeply cared for and loved by the God of all creation. You are Christ's passion.